Alright, Ben here with Tiger Scorpion Self-Defense Tactics. Check out my 511 hat, little centipede with a knife in it. Picked it up at 511 for this knife series. Alright, so in this video, we're going to be going over looking at what cuts look like on clothing through the meat. We're going to be using some raw meat and some clothing to demonstrate what happens and how serious cuts are with sharp knives. When it comes to self-defense, using a knife, you always want something that is quick to deploy. And when we are using it for self-defense, we're not trying to do all this crazy flailing way out here and stuff like that. No. We take a boxer stance, and just like boxing, we're just cutting out. Doing cut. They come in, we cut. We can do a little cut on the eye, and we're aim for the arms and the fists. I'll be talking about that later. Alright, so we're about to do a meat test just to show how to do cuts and how dangerous cuts are. I got my Voyager Cold Steel. I always love my Cold Steel knives. Another Cold Steel, I'm using the Double Agent 2. This right here that I picked up, this is the Oerla. These knives are pretty cheap and decent. They're thick, they got a little weight to them, but so far on this edge I've cut stuff and it's still holding a really good edge for less than 50 bucks. Then we got the CRKT Keramin, and we'll be seeing what they're going to do to beef cheek. I'm going to be layering it in. We got the cotton shirt, and we're going to see what it does to the thighs and jeans. Alright, so first test, we're going to use the Keramin, and we're going to test it on shirt meat. So let's see here. So the first looks pretty good, deep cut. Definitely gonna work. Pretty nasty slice through the shirt meat. Alright, so the Keramin did pretty well on the cut. Now I'm gonna show you the self-defense. This is the Double Agent 2, and we're going to see what kind of damage this thing is going to do on the shirt test. So duct tape fixes everything, right? So here we go. Wasn't a very good slice. Looks like Double Agent didn't even penetrate. Got a little nip. It's not doing much. This is a pretty light. It looks like the Keramin would be a whole lot better, but you still get pretty decent little cut there. Alright, so Double Agent didn't do very good on a cut. Now we're going to test the cheap, nice, the Oerla. These knives are actually really good for being so underpriced because they're blade thickness, but this thing should do a lot of damage. I'm going to do a shirt test real quick. If it stops spinning. Oh yeah, definitely got a pretty decent cut into the meat right there. So Oerla does do some damage. Alright, so now we're going to do the Voyager. I know this thing's going to do a ton of damage. So, alright, here we go. Nice slice right there. Definitely goes in there. Alright, so I'm going to use the Keramin, and then I'm going to use the Oerla. So this is on jeans. It'd be like your thighs. Alright, so it went in pretty good. Let's see if I can get a good angle. It did some pretty good deep damage in there. Can't see it too well, but yeah, it got in there pretty good. Alright, now we're going to use the Oerla and see what happens when we do jeans, which would be thigh. Oh, shit. Alright, so the Oerla kind of obliterated it, and I had to hurry up and grab the meat. It sliced the heck out of this thing. But yeah, I had to get some stuff to clean it up. Alright, so we went over demonstrations of cuts with knives, how bad the cuts can be for certain knives. We found out that this Oerla does pretty well. These straight blades and the Keramin curved blades, these things do a lot more damage for cuts, whereas the double agent didn't do so well on cuts. It's going to be better for stabs and yanks, so we don't want the stabbing type of stuff. We're looking for the cut stuff. So since we knew the Keramin does pretty well on cuts, we know the Karambit will definitely do well on cuts. I did not want to use my Karambit for the demonstration because that's my favorite, and that's my usual always carry self-defense knife. I never use it on anything because it has to stay sharp for self-defense reasons. The only time it's going to come out is if I need it and deploy it. So I use other knives and other cheaper Karambits like it to practice with. Now let's look at when it comes to self-defense for cuts. What we're looking for is peelbacks. So if we peel back the skin just a little bit so it's hanging, and what happens is when they're fighting, it's going to start causing so much pain they're not going to want to move that hand no more because they got the skin dangling off. So we're peeling back some of the muscle and skin on the arm. The targets would be this area. This back side of your arm is a safe zone. So the danger when it comes to cutting and stabs are on the inside of the arm and here. We're not looking to bleed them out or kill them. We're looking for quick self-defense, and we want them to stop. when they come in. So we're doing minor little cuts of the skin hanging off, so they feel it if they try to use it again. The other target is we're going for the hands. If their hands are tore up, we ain't got to worry about them coming in and grabbing us no more. They'll probably not want to fight anymore if they got cuts or almost a finger hanging off or something like that. So that's the other thing. Danger zones. The danger zones are pretty much when you stand up and put together like this. Everything that is hidden is dangerous areas to be cutting. So anything under the arm going here, anything in between here coming up, we don't want to go there. So everything on the outside, we're good. We don't want to be going for, where's my, there it is. We don't want to be going for neck cuts, no. The only types of cuts I say you can go for is above the eye, so that the blood runs in their eyes and it becomes a pain in the butt. Either side above the eye, we're not looking to take their eyes out, we just want a little cut so that this blood starts coming in their eye and they can't see and stuff. We're not going anywhere here, nowhere here, and we're just doing above here for cuts on the face. Nothing from here on. We're not going to do anything here. We're mostly wanting to focus on the hands and arms because that's what's going to be the easiest to get to. So you're coming out and you're just striking the skin, peel it back on the arms, or hitting that finger or the hand, and that pretty much covers that stuff. Alright, don't be trying any of this stuff at home. Make sure you have a lot of practice with knives before you be doing all this crazy stuff that I did in my house. I shouldn't have done it in my house, but I put stuff down so that it wouldn't get on the carpet and stuff like that. Just remember, knives are very deadly in self-defense. Alright, I'm about to tell you the hard truth about knives. If you think you're going to be able to block, do all this, stop a knife, you thought wrong. In reality, when someone has a knife, they probably used it before on somebody else, and they probably know they're going to be doing jabs like this, and trying to catch that arm is not going to happen. They're going to be flailing it like this, and you're not going to be able to grab that arm at all. You're going to get cut a bunch of times before you be able to grab an arm and disarm them. Later on in the series, after knives, I will be covering things that work against knives. But unarmed, your best defense, and when you see someone pull a knife on you, is to run. Just take off running. You can try to be a badass, but you're going to get cut up in the process. That's the reality. Thanks for watching my videos. Next, I'll be going over my chart. I forgot to do that one in this video, so it will be in my next one, because I'll be going over more in depth about strikes and stuff.